When we set out to discover stories of the American farm, we didn't know where to start. With over 2 million of them in the United States, how would we find the right farms, the right people, the right stories? How could we choose the farmers that would be able to explain to us how they are profitable, why they are in a tractor at 3 a.m. on a Saturday, why they have to be their own mechanics, engineers, marketers, why they haven't taken a vacation in 13 years, what they've given up along the way, or what it truly means to be a farmer. To answer these questions, we took a trip to Mount Vernon, Iowa, and a place called Kroul Farms.
The dream was that he goes and plays for the Jets for 9 years and he comes back with a bunch of money and he just pays us a bunch for the farm and everybody lives happily ever after, but that didn't work.
But now we call him the has-been.
Yeah, he's the has-been now. Now he's just a farmer.
Interview Matt, take one. Mark.
Your dad was telling us some stories.
Oh, was he? I'm sure he was. One of my first comments coming back was, hey, teach me everything that you've learned your 20, 30 years so I'm not making the same mistakes. He's a pretty sarcastic soul, and I don't know what his comeback was, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for as far as, no, you need to figure out yourself. I'm like, no, if we're gonna improve and get better, you know, teach me what you've already learned or what you learned from your transition.
And there was a lot to learn, because the Krouls' non-traditional farming land pushed them into diversification out of necessity.
It's hills, it's river bottom. You can't depend on the income from just normal farming. One little downturn can really put some operations in trouble.
And that's why the diversification at this farm works, because then we can either go concentrate on the wood, we can concentrate on more flowers.
Well, most people think we're crazy with the stuff we got
Most of our friends.
going here.
Kroll Farms' approximate 1,200 acres is divided into 600 acres of row crops, 500 acres of pasture and timber, 45 acres of pumpkins, 15 acres of sweet corn, and a 5-acre garden. For the average family, this may seem like a lot to keep track of, but to the Krouls, it's their normal.
I call it organized chaos at times, right? But it's that's what keeps us kind of moving and what keeps us going all together. It just seems to work, and it's kind of the, at times, vicious life cycle of what we do.
The lineage of Kroll Farms spans over decades, 7 of them to be exact.
I bought Mom and Dad out in like '83 during the farm crisis, and we were
With machinery.
heavily debted and high interest, 19% interest.
You know, just a huge undertaking and a risk for him, but you know, they worked their butts off to set the foundation, and that's kind of was the onset to diversify and gain more income off the acres we had.
Farms of America is presented by RM43. Serious weed control. Farms of America is presented by RM43. Serious weed control.
The farm's introduction of growing pumpkins in 1985 is just one example of how they have maximized their acreage.
It's gotten to be really big since my kids took over. We tried to hold it at 15 acres when the wife and I were doing it, and now we're up to 45 acres.
We learned that there is much more to planting a successful pumpkin patch than meets the eye. It starts with planting in early May, using their 100-year-old planter that's pulled by their brand new tractor. The seeds are hand-dropped into a no-till field of ryegrass, which is the first year of using this technique on all 45 of their pumpkin acres. They utilize GPS to ensure perfectly spaced rows for the pumpkins, allowing ample room for the vines to grow, but also keeping the field looking organized and clean from the highway, which is important to the Krouls. A few months down the road, it's harvest time. There is still no technology that allows pumpkins to be harvested by a machine, meaning that each one is hand-picked, all 100 tons of them. Pumpkins contribute to 20% of the farm's yearly revenue.
Today we picked pretty hard for the last couple hours. I think we picked 5 hay racks, I heard. So right now they're just sending them through this little apparatus that we kind of custom built with a local engineer. This was, I think, the 3rd year we've used this now. We've always fought mud, just we have a little darker soil or clay soil. So we can't just simply kind of wipe off the sandy soil.
After cleaning, they're displayed throughout the farm for purchase, or delivered to retail stores across the neighboring towns. Growing 45 acres of pumpkins can be difficult to manage, but with John's leadership on the farm, the Krouls have gotten pretty dang good at it.
My dad, obviously works his butt off, and that's what I've always respected about him.
I'm not sure I know what retirement is. When you like what you're doing, you're kind of always retired, so just keep doing what you're doing as long as you can.
You know, that place is his whole life. That farm is his whole life, has been his whole life, and it was his parents' whole life. And so he's very, very proud of the farm, and he's proud of being a farmer.
Oh, here we go. We'll do more than that. This is the crew.
He's up rearing to go and always kind of pushing, which isn't always fun for us sometimes.
I'm sitting here patiently waiting for my breakfast. She's a lot slower than I am. I can have a breakfast in 7 minutes.
You know, that's how he built this place, and that's how, got through those early 90s and got through that farm crisis, was pushing and working and staying on task and, having a little bit of, creativity and entrepreneurship in starting some of this stuff that is prevalent for us today.
As pumpkin sales wind down towards the end of October, another business for the Krouls picks up. And the start of this one? Well, John's got a story for that.
19 years old, and it was the 80s, and I didn't have any money, and I wanted to drink beer with my buddies. And we had to come up with $50 a week so we could get our nickel draws. And so we tried to sell a load of wood a week and have some cash money to party on.
John turned his way of getting beer money as a young adult into a full-fledged operation that is now another branch of Kroll Farms diversification.
We've been selling firewood for about 40 years, and now this recently, about 3 years ago, we bought this machine, and it's really kind of sped us up and obviously saved my shoulders and hips and knees from constant blocking and splitting.
The Krouls have different customer bases for their firewood. 50% are from bundled retail sales, 20% are from local restaurants, and the last 30% of firewood sales are from residential and bulk orders right off the farm. Today, the Krouls can cut 8 cords of wood in just 6 hours, with a cord of wood being 128 cubic feet and weighing roughly 3,000 pounds. That's over 24,000 pounds of wood, or 16 truckloads, in a single day. What started out as beer money for John has turned into 8% of the farm's yearly revenue.
Farms of America is presented by RM43. Serious weed control. Farms of America is presented by RM43. Serious weed control.
It was clear to us that the Krouls were still traditional farmers at heart. With over 600 acres of row crops, including corn, soybeans, and alfalfa, growing crops still plays a major role in the farm's success. A large part of that success is thanks to Matt's brother Adam, who manages the harvest for the farm.
This is actually my own combine, so I do about 2,500 acres of custom harvest along with all our harvest at the farm. 18 millimeters is what this cob usually is, so I've got it set at 18, and that processes that corn off that cob without smashing the cob, without smashing the corn.
Today, the crew is harvesting a variety of different corn and soybeans in collaboration with a local seed company, also known as a test plot. Once harvested, the Krouls will utilize the information to help get the highest bushel per acre possible. Bushel per acre is the standard for measuring crop yield and is determined by taking the amount of harvested bushels, which is equivalent to 9 gallons in volume, or 56 pounds of corn and 60 pounds of soybeans, then dividing by the number of acres harvested. With the ever-growing cost of repairs and equipment upgrades, the importance of maximizing crop yields can't be overlooked.
It's pretty crazy how the price of machinery, you know, a new corn head's $110,000, a new combine's $600,000. I spent $30,000 last fall to get it so we don't have a breakdown this year in theory.
If you get too heavily indebted in equipment, it can be hard because it always wears out and breaks down.
Despite the challenges in running a successful row crop operation, crops still have a key role in the farm's success, contributing to 39% of the farm's yearly revenue. When Matt returned home in 2012, the farm took leaps and bounds in terms of new technology. It's no surprise why he is always pushing the farm to perform at its best.
Matt went through, 12, 15 years of football where you go like crazy for two hours practice, 2.5, and he approaches life like that.
He does an amazing job of being what everybody needs from him at that time, whether that's a friend or a neighbor or a fellow farmer, or his role as dad or husband. She's got like 11 pairs of Christmas pajamas. So she wears them year round.
Because we both can wear them. I'm sitting right here.
She loves Christmas just like me.
Morning, Reese.
Back up. Back your booty up.
Hopping between, being in a tractor, then, quick, getting ready to go be on this podcast, to go out there and advocate for farmers and to talk about the industry and to help, use his platform to tell the story a little bit. So he probably doesn't get as much sleep as he should. The grandmas always tag team, or have always tag teamed making lunch out here. So it was Grandma Lizzie for a long time, and you helping her and everything. Yeah. And then Grandma Lizzie passed a few years ago, so now it's all on you.
I know.
It's all
okay.
on you.
It's okay.
Like, it's taco salad, and we're teaching him how to put it. So, Mauricio, you're
not
telling me
authentic.
this is not authentic?
No.
This is American taco.
Grandma tries.
I know, right? She tried so hard for you today.
No, she do very well.
Ow, it was spicy in there.
Most times we feed Mauricio and Junior and Dad. Kayleen are in there as well, so gives us a chance to kind of get that 10-minute conversation, as short as it might be, to kind of plan either the rest of the day or the rest of the week.
Let's talk about this Johnson County food grant for a minute. Applicants can request $1,000 to $25,000. The goal of the grant must be that whatever they give us helps us grow more community-based food.
Have to hire a professional grant writer.
John,
Now you're insulting your daughter-in-law.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, that's how they
You know
get
that
the grants.
you know that arena in Coralville?
We'll see if she gets it.
You know that arena in Coralville? Who wrote all those grants?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so my career was in corporate marketing and communications. Matt and I talked about for a long time. We had talked about me coming back and being able to apply everything I was doing in my job, to the farm. Has 286,000 views.
Gee whiz.
That's great. Isn't that wild? My dad passed away last August after a 1.5-year battle with esophageal cancer. And so that was really quick and unexpected. He was just getting close to retirement age, and I just said, I think it's time. I think it's time. And took a week off for his services and everything. And I went back to work on Monday and put in my 2 weeks, and that was it. If something like that doesn't make you go jump off the deep end a little bit and do something really uncomfortable and scary, then probably nothing will.
Push me out to sea, baby.
My dad was always very, very proud of Matt and everything he accomplished in football and in farming. And yeah, he never saw me sorry. But I think he'd be really proud, and I think he'd think it was really cool. He loved stopping out at the farm, in the man cave, playing cards, talking farming, with Matt and everybody there. And I think it would just be one more thing now that my dad and I would have in common, because now I can kind of keep up with the convo a little bit.
Farms of America is presented by RM43. Serious weed control. Farms of America is presented by RM43. Serious weed control.
With being on a major highway, the Krouls are open to the public, whether they like it or not. But they have embraced this and now serve as a facet for their community by educating families on farming.
Back up.
We heard stories of their school tours and even got to experience one of them firsthand.
What's up? Are you cold? Put your sweatshirt on. Whose class is this?
I think I already have a problem, child. Brady, you're gonna be in the corner in a minute, so.
Kayleen, she runs the show, let's just be honest, right? She runs the show out there.
We did not get a lot of rain this year, so we had to actually take a big tank of water out there and slowly go back and forth in the field.
When I hear her doing her farm tour for kids, I find myself listening and learning and perking up a little bit.
So we mow it about 4 or 5 times with this big lawnmower. It says, don't touch. It says, who's your mommy? Well, I will show you how to get in there.
She's a Spitfire. There's not going to be one person that takes over for Kayleen. There's going to be 3 people.
I have to tell her, hey, will you just chill out for a second and just go, I don't know, go get your hair done or go, go do something, because she's 64, had both knees replaced now. My parents both, I wish they would disconnect a little bit and kind of understand that there's more to life than what's next on the farm or what's the next chore to be done or the next building that we need to work on for this business. But, that's what makes them great too.
Just as the Krouls give back to the community also gives back to them through their CSA, or community-supported agriculture.
Customers can purchase a 16-week share from us, which covers 16 weeks of fresh produce every week. And over the years, we've added delivery as one of the perks to our program. And the original idea around that is that it gives customers an opportunity to help farmers offset their input costs at the beginning of a harvest season or of a growing season.
It's been a good, solid program for us. We normally supply about 110 families in the little within 20-mile region that we deliver to. So we deliver those weekly, starting beginning of June and ending end of September.
In a typical year, the CSA program, along with all other produce sales, contribute to 13% of the farm's yearly revenue. The end of the Kroul's fresh produce season is marked by a very special event, the Pullman Farm to Table Dinner, which is put on by the Pullman Restaurant Group, who works with the Krouls to incorporate fresh produce into their restaurants across Iowa. Among the many dishes served on the night, the highlight comes from just 100 yards away. Kroul Farms beef, which is the final income stream for the farm. The Krouls' 150 head of cattle contribute 10% to the farm's yearly revenue. It's nights like these where the family can appreciate how far they've come, but also reflect on what the future of their farm will look like and challenges that are approaching.
The farm is aging and it's not good. You know, the average age is about 57, 58.
Oh, no, 65.
You know that for a fact?
I think so.
You Googled
Yeah.
it on your flip phone? Oh.
No, I just listen. I listen.
Among those challenges is one that many farmers are facing today. Moving on.
You know, you work 40 years to build this up, and it's really hard just to give it away.
The transition for John won't come easy, but for many farmers, it won't come at all.
There's not too many farms around that are transitioning anymore. I feel that the only way my kids are gonna be able to do this if we let them use our assets, because you just can't get into farming without an edge now. The land costs are too high, the machinery costs are too high.
There is no doubt that there is a world of hurdles ahead of young farmers in America. With most traditional farms requiring millions in assets, the young farmer of tomorrow will have to adapt and find their niche, like the Krouls have and will continue to do.
Obviously, there's pride in showing up every day and trying to continue to grow the foundation and the businesses that these guys started. Think outside the box a little bit, and that's what these two have taught me to kind of do a little entrepreneurship attitude, even in farming as possible.
As John and Kayleen begin to hand over the reins of their family farm, we realized our time at Kroll Farms was coming to an end as well. We came to Iowa to learn how a farm is profitable. But we got so much more than that. We learned why farms have to adapt, why they have to make leaps of faith, and why family and farming go hand in hand. It's not about what they have to go up against, but why they don't quit. This is just one story of many across this country. We realized our question was not as simple as we thought. And in order to fully answer it, our journey couldn't be over, but rather, just beginning.